Hello, and welcome to the Great Resignation Part 2. We're talking about perceived indifference as a possible motivator for people saying goodbye to their jobs, which they are doing in record numbers right now. Some 48%, according to the latest Gallup polls, 48% of people with jobs are thinking about leaving that job. That's pretty serious. We also mentioned in the last vlog that, well, we're having record numbers of resignations. We had a record number in April, May, June, July, August. September is yet to be seen. And we also noted that if the average is 48%, there are some companies with far more people thinking about leaving and other companies with far less people thinking about leaving. And what we'd really like to do is explore what's different about the companies where their workforce is happy, engaged, productive, and most importantly right now, not quitting, right? So what is it? And we introduced two books, both by Gallup, and the one we're going to concentrate on today is First Break All the Rules. This is a phenomenal book that basically used research and literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of interviews of managers and workers to understand what made a great manager a great manager. What differentiated them from those who were perceived as not good managers by their workers. All right. And in the midst of all this research, what they found was that good managers, great managers, they retained their employees and they got far more good, productive work out of it. And than their other peers, right? And that's consistent with what I've seen in my 40 years of interacting with manufacturing countries across the country and around the globe. People at all levels want to be successful, want to feel successful. They want to be good at what they do. And to the extent that you enable them as an organization and as a manager to be good at what they do, is the extent to which they will be satisfied in their work and work hard and productively and give you that ever critical discretionary effort that makes the difference, all the difference in the business. All right. We've all heard of the golden rule. That's do unto others as you would have do unto you. That's very self-centered, right? It's all about you. How do you want to be treated? Well, the reality is that doesn't work anymore. It's not about you, particularly if you're the manager, not about you. And so the platinum rule has been introduced. Treat others as they would like to be treated. It's them-centric, right? This is true in how you communicate. This is true in how you motivate. This is true in how you manage people. If you don't understand how your workers want to be communicated to, then you're not communicating effectively. If you don't understand what motivates your individual employees, and they're all different, then you don't understand how to motivate your workers. And if you don't understand how they need to be managed, then you don't understand how to be a manager. And this is what First Break All the Rules lays out in great detail, how to become the manager that manages at the individual level. And it lays out 4 things that great managers know about their workers. First of all, is that people don't change much. You know, we all have our different talents. And if I'm not talented in a particular area that my work requires me to be talented in, then I'm probably not a good fit. Because the second tenet is don't waste time trying to put things into me that were left out when I was created, right? If I don't have an innate attention to details, which I don't, don't put me in a job that requires intense, detailed work. That's got to be absolutely correct. I would be a terrible fit in it. Don't try to manage that into me. I'm not going to change. I am how my parents created me. All right. don't try and put into me what was left out. And that's really an interesting focus, because so often in our performance reviews, what we're talking about is the deficiencies. And that's just wrong-headed. What we should be talking about in performance reviews is where you excel and how to better match what we're asking you to do in your work to what you are actually talented at doing. So rather than trying to put into me or your workers what was left out, try and draw out what was left in. What kind of talents do they have? Where am I a great fit in your organization? All right. Think about it from the other perspective, because folks, that's hard enough to manage, to figure out what people are good at and match the work to them. And if you can do that, and your managers can do that, you will be extremely successful at motivating, communicating, and managing your workforce. And which gets us to the 4 things that managers must be able to do. First of all, they must be able to select a person based on talents. All right. That means you need to know people well enough to be able to identify, are they a fit for the needs and the jobs that I'm managing? Okay. Then you need to set expectations by defining the correct outcomes, right? And putting them in a term that communicates the way I need to be communicated to. And then motivate the individuals by focusing on their strength and by focusing on what motivates them. If you're trying to motivate somebody with money who's actually a theoretical and motivated by learning and education, you're completely missing the boat. It's not going to help them. And 4th, learn how to help the person by getting them in the right job that fits their talents, and then develop and work with that person to bring out the best in them, not to try and force in what was never there to begin with. All right. And if you can do that, if you can get your managers focused on what's good about individuals and build on what's good about individuals, then you'll have a motivated, engaged, productive workforce that's not looking to exit the first opportunity they get. And that, in all of our business, can make all the difference. My name is Rick Phelps. I can be reached at this email. My phone number is 216-533-1387. And this and all the other blogs can be found at phelpsltd.com. Have a safe and prosperous week.